Welcome back to The Price of Business. I'm your host, Kevin Price, talking to you about you and your business. You know, we like to get our friends on from Rich Club every week to talk about what's happening in the real estate investment front. Love to get your insights. This week we've got their fearless leader, Alan Paine, the president of the organization. Glad to see you, sir.
Thank you. I'm glad to be here today.
Tell us a little bit about the Rich Club, as we always like to ask you to do, and then introduce your guest today.
Okay. The Rich Club is the Realty Investment Club of Houston. We are a trade association, nonprofit trade association, and we really like to stress members helping members. We like to do the networking, and we also have training available at the club.
Very good. And
my guest today is Tom Perry from Fast Track Remodeling and Roofing. Welcome, Tom.
Hey, it's great to be here.
Tom, glad to have you on the program. Why don't you just start off by giving us a little information about Fast Track?
Yeah, Fast Track's a general contracting company. We also do roofing and air conditioning. We specialize in investment properties, so whether you're buying a piece of residential real estate to buy and hold it as a rental, or you're looking to flip the property, those are our two main areas of expertise for general contracting.
Very good. Alan?
Well, Tom, what I was going to ask you is, can you explain the difference between, you said we don't do retail as much. Now, can you explain the difference how an investor looks at a property versus a retail person?
Yeah, so every dollar that we spend, especially on a buy and hold property, you have to account for that dollar as an investment. You know, if you're remodeling a kitchen for your own personal residence, you can really do whatever you want to. If you have a budget of $10,000, you want to build a really nice kitchen. If you want to spend $20,000, $30,000, $40,000, there's really sky's the limit on your own personal residence. But if you're looking at it as an investment, you have to account for, am I going to be able to get that money back out of the property?
Mm-hmm. And so you're looking, I don't want to sound like you're going to be cheaper, but you're going to be a little more strategic in the way you do your spending.
Well, we are going to be cheaper, and we are going to be a lot more strategic as well.
Yeah, but what I'm saying, I mean, when people think cheap, they think they're losing quality along the way. But you do it in such a way where value is obviously an underwrite proposition versus some of the situations where, first of all, individuals who buy a roof, they're only getting one roof done. You know,
Correct.
And so you got people that they can leverage relationship with you. You understand the nature of that relationship, and it also they may be planning on being under that roof for decades, which is not the case of an investor. Those type of things.
Well, it's not only that, but we limit choices. We're a little bit like Henry Ford when he said you can have any color you want as long as you want it black.
Right.
We have a formula that works in a buy and hold arena, and so we're not giving. If you're going in to remodel your own personal kitchen, the sky's the limit in terms of choices of tile that you can put or granite that you can put. We limit those choices, and so because we're limiting the choices for our suppliers, then we can offer those limited choices at a much better rate because we're buying the same faucet every single time, we're buying the same countertops every single time, we're buying the same paint every single time. So right now we're Home Depot's second largest customer in the country.
Wow.
Excuse me, in the city. Sorry, we're their fastest growing in the country. So we spend about $80,000 a month with Home Depot.
Do you want to mention that the website is fast-trackrr.com. fast-trackrr.com. Alan?
And Tom, also, one of the things what most people don't realize that your type of business exists. With the Rich Club, where can people meet you at the Rich Club?
Yeah, we're at almost all of the networking meetings. We're at the Deal a Minute meeting that takes place next week is the next one, next Wednesday.
On the 13th.
On the 13th, okay. And then that's at Dave & Buster's from 6:15.
It's from 6 o'clock to 8 o'clock. And Tom is always there, and he's always willing to meet people. And then we also at the general meeting that was just this past weekend, Tom has a booth at that, and you can meet Tom, who's always there to help new investors learn how to do this business. That said, Tom, what I want to ask you is you have a real unique way that you do estimates. You want to talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, we had a proprietary iPad app written for us. So rather than walking out with a legal pad and just kind of looking around and saying, oh, it kind of feels like a $12,000 repair or a $15,000 repair, we actually go room by room and build our scope of work. We start in the entry. We start with the flooring, decide do you want to keep the flooring that's there? Do you want to change it to something specific? We look at the baseboards, work our way up to the walls, the doors, the light fixtures on the interior, et cetera, and just go room by room and build a scope of work. And so then we create a room proposal and a construction proposal, and if it's on the scope of work, we're doing it. If it's not on the scope of work, we're not doing it. So there's great communication on the front end between the client and our company, and between us and our crews to make sure that we're doing exactly what you want done on that job.
And how many clients do you typically have at any one moment we're actively working with?
We're currently running 12 crews on our general contracting side. I have 5 full-time employees that are my W-2 employees on the air conditioning side, and then we run 3 crews on the roofing side.
Oh, interesting. Alan?
Yeah, I mean, what Tom also was really saying here that I really love about this is, especially a new investor, Tom can basically hold your hand through this, and you guys already can tell them, no, you don't want to. You want to use this faucet, and here's why. And then also with the kitchen, you can tell them why they don't want to make it that purple. That purple accent streak through here.
I have a lot of unusual conversations as a general contractor with new investors, because 9 times out of 10, I'm talking them out of doing work that they want to be doing that they really shouldn't be doing from an investment perspective.
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah, absolutely, no question about it. And so you find yourself even playing a consulting role to a relative, to a new investor's trying to navigate through those dicey waters.
Absolutely.
And again, they often think very permanently when they should be thinking in terms of simplicity to a certain extent.
Absolutely.
Especially if it's a flip house scenario, they're going to change everything anyway when they get in there. So just keep that in mind.
Correct.
Yeah, absolutely.
Exactly. I mean, one of the things that that people don't realize is that generic, easy for me to say, generic is better in this regard because you hit 80% of the buyer.
Correct.
And they're going to change it anyway. So,
absolutely. Yeah, if people have strong opinions about colors for paint, for example, we're not going to allow anybody to paint, walls eggplant color or mustard orange or yellow or things like that. We're going to go with a neutral, like a Killam beige, with white on the ceiling, semi-gloss white enamel on doors and trim, those kind of things. So we're going to keep it neutral to appeal to the broadest marketplace.
Do you want to mention one more time, fast-trackrr.com. fast-trackrr.com. Cool site, very easy to navigate. You can really clearly see what you do and how you do it. I really like it. Alan?
And I want to make sure that everybody is aware at the Rich Club, we do, as we talked about, we have the Deal a Minute coming up next week from tomorrow night, or tonight, a week from tonight, at Dave & Buster's, I-10 and Silver, between 6 and 8. And that'll be upstairs. And then also I wanted to mention richclub.org. Come check our calendar out at richclub.org. And we have a lot of great events coming up. And our headquarters is at 4220 Lockfield, and that's 43rd near 290.
And I loved your headquarters is awesome. What you've done is very creative and incredibly clever. I love what you've done there. I appreciate that great work.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
You want to mention any specific events other than the one coming up on Wednesday, which I'm going to be there. I plan on being there. In fact, while we were speaking, I put it on my calendar. So
perfect.
I plan on being the last one.
One thing that we have coming up this Friday for people that you don't have to be a member is our cash flow game at the Rich headquarters. Go check our calendar out. And it starts at 7 o'clock and it's over at 10. Last week I did not have the times, and I have the times today. It's this Friday from 7 to 10. Come play the Robert Kiyosaki's cash flow game.
All right. Thanks so much to both of you. Tom Perry, he is with Fast Track. That's Fast Track Remodeling and Roofing. The website there is fast-trackrr, which I'm assuming is for remodeling and roofing. fast-trackrr.com. Tom, thanks for being with us.
That's great to be here.
And Alan Paine, he is the Grand Poobah over there at Rich Club, RICH club.org. Make sure you check out that website. Incredibly rich with content, information, things to do, and I love what you guys are doing. Keep it up.
Thank you.
Yeah. All right, when we come back, much more for you. I do want to remind you, best content here shows up over there at usdailyreview.com, and you're listening to The Price of Business.